कर दे दे कर।
Many of the participants have joined in. Few of them are in the waiting room. I'm just waiting for them, and then we can begin in another 2-3 minutes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Fine. All well.
Yes, good, good.
I think, sir, you must have in your mind Mr. Neeraj Sharma ji. He was with us on the Engineers Day. We invited him for his like even he was in international conference.
Okay. Yes. I can recall.
Yes, we
Yes,
already
hello,
invited
Neeraj.
him. Yeah. He is
Hello Ankush ji,
basically.
how are you?
How fine, sir. Absolutely good. How are you?
Good, very good. It's nice that you are arranging such type of webinar. That's good.
With your blessings, sir, like the people like you are available in the society who can give knowledge to the students.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ankush ji.
Yes, yes.
Because this is our field and we are working with farmers.
Yes, yes.
Practically, we can give something to your students,
Yes, sir. Yes,
which
sir.
we have achieved till date. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, true. So, how's the position there in Sir Kurukshetra?
Uh, it's normal, we can say. Rather than other cities, it's better.
Okay,
The
it's
condition
under
is
control basically.
yes, it's under control. My
Okay.
this complex is also a quarantine center actually. It was declared 2 days back,
Oh, I
so
see.
patients are also here. But
Okay.
we are taking care of everything. Things are going well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he was from your department, basically, like who found like this COVID infection.
Uh, I'm not hearing
You are in
proper.
the society. You are in the like government society living somewhere.
I'm in irrigation department.
Yeah, in irrigation department, have there some like locality for the people like who is working in irrigation department? Have they
Ankush,
provided you the residence? Hello.
yes, yeah.
Ankush, sir, your voice is not clearly audible. Basically,
Okay.
yeah, your voice is breaking
Can
in
you hear me
between.
now? Is it audible?
Now it's audible.
Slightly better.
Okay.
So better I should join with mobile, I think. No?
Yeah, it will be better, sir. Yeah.
Let me join with mobile.
Uh,
कोई बात नहीं, वो कर- Hello.
Yes, sir. Now it is audible, clearly audible.
Yes, yes.
And what
Actually,
I
earlier I
was
was using laptop.
Yeah, actually, what I was telling to you, we can expect a very good session because yesterday I was talking to Neeraj ji, and he was of the view that
Mhm.
students kept on reading in books and they keep on doing practical experiments within lab only. But I will let them know how actual working in basically in the fields. And same
Mhm.
sentence he told me yesterday that we are working like a farmers. And the topic what we yeah, and the topic what we'll be discussing today is very interesting. Basically, his department is working on micro irrigation, and
Oh, I see.
that
Okay.
is very important nowadays because water is very precious for future even, and
Mhm.
even
True, true.
he
Right.
insisted so many times that you send our your students to us and we will give them training, we will give them exposure in the practical fields, how we are saving the water
Okay.
with the help of these
Okay.
techniques, means
Okay.
micro irrigation. So he has done a wonderful job in that particular
Mhm.
area.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so
It's very interesting.
that's he's going
Now
to
everything.
explore in his talk, and we can expect a very good practical exposure for all the participants as well as few of our students are also participating in it. Uh,
Mhm.
so, sir, I think we can start now. Deepika, it's over to you. You can start it formally now.
Sure, sir. Very good morning to all present here. Respected Vice Chairman, sir, Mr. Ankush Bansal, worthy Director, sir, Dr. Saurabh Gupta, Professor and Head Civil Engineering Department, Dr. Amit Gupta, Engineer Neeraj Sharma, sir, Executive Engineer Department of Irrigation and Water Resources, CAT Division, Government of Haryana, and my dear participants, I welcome you all at this webinar, a webinar on latest trends in civil engineering. First of all, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our distinguished speakers and my special welcome to Engineer Neeraj Sharma. We are grateful to you, sir, for providing this opportunity to interact with the participants. I, on the behalf of Institute, thank you for accepting the invitation to serve as the speaker for today. Talking about civil engineering, the second oldest branch after military engineering. It is a professional and core engineering that offers design, estimate, construction plan, and renovation for physical built work. If we talk about scope of civil engineering, it has a very vast scope like structural engineering, transportation, water resource engineering, environmental engineering, remote sensing, construction management, etc. We will be talking about these fields today from our distinguished speakers who will be telling us about different scopes of civil engineering. The webinar has been organized and brought to you by Geeta Group of Institutions, Panipat. Geeta Group of Institutions is the prestigious education place in northern India and is the most preferred education institute in the region. It has the NAC accredited engineering campus, the best law college in Haryana and Delhi NCR, the number one ranked hotel management college. I thank the management of Geeta Group of Institutions to organize this webinar, and it is going to be highly beneficial for the participants. Before I move on to further, I would like to specify a few of the courses that we provide. We have more than 50 programs in diploma, undergraduate, and postgraduate in engineering, law, management, hotel management, and other education courses. We have with us diploma in software engineering, civil engineering, and mechanical engineering. We have bachelor in technology with us, computer science, civil, electronics and communication, and mechanicals. We also have diploma in pharmacy and bachelor in pharmacy. We also have vocational courses with us, bachelor in vocation in interior engineering. We have master courses, masters in technology, in computer sciences, electronics and communication, mechanical engineering and transportation engineering. We do have management courses, hotel management courses, and the law courses. The institute has more than 600 well qualified, dedicated, and distinguished faculty members, over 7,000 students who are from 10 different countries and 20 different states. So now I would like to come upon to our distinguished speakers. Today we have distinguished speakers with us who will be talking about the latest trends in civil engineering. We have with us Engineer Neeraj Sharma, Executive Engineer, Department of Irrigation and Water Resources, a very innovative personality in his work and a renowned person. We have with us Engineer Ankush Bansal, Vice Chairman, Geeta Group of Institutions, very dynamic in nature and has a commanding personality, always brings motivation among all. We have with us Dr. Saurabh Gupta, Director of Geeta Group of Institutions, an inspirational personality who always keep himself and the surroundings to do the better and the best. Very rich in his expertise. We have with us Dr. Amit Gupta, Professor and Head Civil Engineering Department, who is having rich experience in his field. Before we start with our speaker, I would like to request all participants to kindly mute their mic. And dear participants, if you have any queries, questions during this session, please type them into the chat box of your Zoom control panel. Now, without further ado, I will turn the time over to Engineer Ankush Bansal to share his expert views about the webinar today. Sir, can we have you?
Yes, yes. Thank you, madam. So first of all, I welcome to Mr. Neeraj Sharma, who is a XCN in Irrigation Department, Kushetra, for sparing his valuable time for our student and the student from outside. I have seen a lot of registration has been done throughout the India and even from outside India. So I welcome to all of you for this webinar, the trends in civil engineering, where the topic is very new, like we are talking about the civil engineering branch, which is one of the engineering field. And it's not a new field, it's very oldest field, already told by the Deepika ma'am that this is a second branch after this military engineering. So no doubt nowadays we are just changing every field from traditional to like the latest, we are adopting the latest technology. And in the same field in engineering, we are talking about the civil engineering. We have chosen that infrastructure engineering, the smart city, where no doubt where we are living in India, which is a developing country, is not that much smart as the other developed country are, where the people are living in smart cities and they are bringing so many things in the smart cities. Like if we talk about the water supply, where the smartness is there, like if water is supplying to the houses, you can calculate everything, like how much water is used in the shower, how much water is used for plantation. So every calculation is there. So like everything can be calculated through the smart things. So if we talk about the street lights, whenever you move outside, like when the people move with the senses, that street light on, otherwise it get off. So it saves the electricity. So if we talk about the traffic, like we have seen our country as well, like we are also smart enough. Earlier we were moving somewhere in Delhi, so we have to ask like the place where you have to go. You ask to you stop your car and you ask the person like where is the way to go to this location. But now you have GPS with you, there is no need to ask anyone. Like you can just enter the name of the place and you can reach there easily. So this is a smartness. And if we talk about the safety and security, that is also there. Like in the smart cities, they are coming up with the safety and securities. And one more important thing in the smart cities we are talking about, like I was reading somewhere, like many developed countries, like the people are putting garbage outside there, the garbage bin, where it senses like it is filled, then automatically they send a message, and the truck comes and that pick the garbage and that vacate the bin. So these are the smart cities. So regarding this, like India is also just planning for all these smart cities to the metropolitan cities like in Delhi, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. Even we have seen in Delhi as well, like underground constructions are going on. We have seen this metros are running, that is running underground. Basically, why there is a need of using this underground construction, as the population is increasing day by day. So a lot of people are coming up where the land infra is getting shorter. So to overcome these problems for future, So we have to go to underground constructions, and this is only due to the civil engineering and the advancement in the civil engineering. So I would like to say, like, to overcome all these things, we are using a lot of technologies. Like if we talk about in the field of computer science, artificial intelligence, where we are using artificial intelligence in civil engineering as well. In if we talk about like how we get the message, how smartly, intelligently things are overcoming, that is through artificial intelligence. And if we talk about the augmentation reality and the virtual reality, where a civil engineer want to construct something and to give something to their client, then what a client is asking, like, I want to see like how my house will look like. So they are just making a project under this virtual reality, and using this virtual mask, they can see like how my house will look like, what will be the position of my furniture, and how the things will look like. So using these things, AR, VR, and artificial intelligence, that is making possible for everyone. Like they can see like what will be the construction of my house, what will be the designing of my house. So these things are going on, and no doubt. In our college, Geeta Engineering College, we are just coming up with all these technologies. We have just started the 3D printing lab. We are just working on the smart cities projects. And even one thing I would like to share, like this time, AI City has also introduced. Hello. So AICT has also introduced the minor subjects where in civil engineering, smart cities and 3D printing has been introduced by the central government. And I would like to tell you, like in Geeta Engineering College also, we are opting these courses where the student will get BTech honors degree, where the major and the minor subjects will be there. And they will get the extra credit, 20 credits of these minor subjects, where in civil engineering, the smart city and 3D printing courses will be there. That will be in their curriculum. So these courses will definitely help the civil engineers for the upliftment and for the development of their career. And no doubt, Geeta Engineering College is running many branches in engineering like civil, mechanical, computer science, and electronics and communication. And we have a lot of students, more than 200 students from Northeast in our Geeta Engineering College, those who are pursuing their engineering field. And as these areas are underdeveloped, so many construction is like government is planning for the construction, and the highways and the high-rise buildings are coming up in these areas for the development of the underdeveloped states. So definitely the Geeta Engineering College is like looking into all the aspects where the future is there. So with these words, I will say like the scope is there in civil engineering, and we have to upgrade ourselves. We have to leave the traditional way of methodology of teaching methodology, and we have to upgrade by using all the latest technology, latest trends of AI, AR, VR, and such kind of things we have to use. So with these words, I thanks to everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable findings with us. And very rightly, sir, we have a very vast scope in the civil engineering, as we are coming up with the smart cities now. Also, at Geeta Group of Institutes, we have been introducing with our courses like artificial intelligence, augmented reality, to mark up with the latest trends in each and every field. And if you talk about civil engineering, yes, it is going to help us and having a bright future in this as we are moving towards the smart cities. So moving on to the next speaker, I would now like to call upon our next speaker, Engineer Neeraj Sharma, Executive in Irrigation and Water Resources Department. Sir, can we have you? He is
Yeah.
going to share with us his expert opinions about the trends in the civil engineering. Sir?
Deepika, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir,
Hello?
you are audible.
Thanks, Deepika. First, I would like to thank the management of Gita Institutes, and director, head of department, and especially Deepika you for inviting me to present specific topic which is related to micro irrigation. So with this, I would like to start my presentation. So should I?
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Friends, as we all know that water is very precious for us. Uh, I don't want to discuss much more about the preciousness. We all know. And where the water is being used, this is important thing. When we say, as I'm we forwarding the words of engineer Ankush, that we are using water in showers, etc., and etc. But mainly we are using this water in irrigation, that is for agriculture purpose. You will be surprised to know that more than 80% of the water is being used in irrigation. So we have to develop such a system that this water should be used efficiently, because as I have told you that 80%, this is an enormous amount which should be saved. But in the same way, if we are saving it, we should look after the farmers also. So when we say whenever we discuss about irrigation, it always means that we are talking about groundwater table, we are talking about surface water, we are talking about groundwater quality or surface water quality, electricity consumption, natural resources like diesel or sunlight, etc. Farmers' income, this is major issue. And another issue which is related with irrigation is that farmers' suicide. So we'll have to cover all these topics. We have to save the water, but we have to think about all these characteristics which is related with irrigation. So earlier, the usual practice in irrigation is very much clear to everybody that there are open channels which are leading to the field to irrigate the farmer's harvest, or sorry, farmer's crop. So we made certain changes in it. So before discussing about these changes, what are the objectives to make these changes, which we practically done in our department, specifically in Kurukshetra district. So these are the new initiatives. One can say that these are the innovative initiatives we have taken. So what are the objectives behind it, to use these initiations? Supply management. Second, that PPT, please forward the second PPT. Are you listening me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Which second PPT? Who is managing the PPT? Please, second PPT.
Sure, sir. I'll take a minute for it.
Anji, Dr. Amit. Dr. Amit.
Sir, it is already second PPT on the main screen.
नहीं main screen
But
पे है ही नहीं. नहीं, it's not on. It is first PPT only.
With PPT.
okay, Dr. Saurabh. Hello. Hello.
Yes, please. Ji,
Dr.
Ji.
Dr. I can carry on without PPT also.
You carry on. In between, we will set it.
Okay. So main objective to reach up to this particular.
I think it's here, sir.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Now you can see from here that there are two categories: supply management and demand management. So what we are doing here, supply management. We are converting these on open channel into pipe channels. So by this we are doing supply management. And second is demand management. Here what we are doing, that how much water is needed for the crop, that should be managed. That will be through demand management. Here we are using micro irrigation techniques. One thing is there, when we are using open water, we are giving water to the field, not to the crops. But when we are using micro irrigation techniques, we are giving water to the crops, not to the field. So this is the major difference. And what we have achieved is due to these two management: supply management and demand management. So friends, I would like to share you another vision of our department, that this is not the case of civil engineers to tackle with this water issue. It is the whole responsibility of whole fraternity of engineers. Either it is electrical engineer, or a mechanical engineer, or electronics engineer, or computer engineer. So, or moreover, it is the responsibility of agriculture engineer also. So we will have to achieve or we have to address the issue of this water by collaborating efforts of all the engineers. So we are doing in the same way. So these two are the managements we are doing here. So purpose of this management is quite clear. Next PPT, please. Next. You can see that overall project efficiency, it is 36% and varying up to 85%. So we are reaching from 36% to 85% by applying supply management and demand management. So this is our we have to achieve. We are using water efficiently now from 36% to 85%. Next PPT, please. Next, please. Earlier, we are using these channels to supply up to the field, or with this method by pipelines, either flow or with the pipelines. Next, please. Next, PPT. Oh, this is the video I would like to show you what we have done now. Please start this video. Start the video, please. Okay, next slide, please. Last slide. No. Pre-slide, please. Yes, this one. No, not this one, please. This. Hello.
So this slide.
No, the after video. The slide after video.
After video.
Now this one. So the video, note this one, please. After video, please, sir. This is the yes, this one, this slide. I mean. Hello.
Yeah, yes,
Hello.
yes, please. Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. The video which I have shown to you, just to make you easy, to make comfortable to understand this layout plan. That you have shown, you have seen in the video that there was a canal and another canal supplying water to it is in which water was entering. It was a distributory, and then from distributory there is a canal outlet. You can see from the figure a small dot is there, which is outlet, and a line, a feeder line is attached to the tank. So what we are doing here, we are collecting this water into a tank. The water of that particular module. I think civil engineers must be knowing this word module or outlet. This water is collecting into a tank rather than to directly give into the fields. So this tank is surrounded by solar panels, and these solar panels are connected to the nearby grid. So here what we are doing, we are pumping this water from the tank through the filters, which you can see in the figure in the red block. That there are 3 types of filters, and from these filters, water is supplying to the field. We are providing hydrants, a word you can see, hydrant. It is an outlet of water into the field. So we are providing pressurized water to these hydrants, and these hydrants are located at every field. So what we are doing here, the pressurized water is able to run the drip and sprinklers, which sprinklers and drip are required to run. So we maintain such a pressure that drip and sprinkler can be directly installed on these hydrants, and farmer can use water through these drip and sprinklers rather than by applying open flow to the fields. But same thing is, one thing is also there. We are supplying extra energy to the nearby grid. And whenever energy is required, when there is less insolation from the solar, we can draw energy from the grid also. So this is the unique system we developed here. I don't know about the word, but in India it is a unique system which we have developed, that solar energy is transferred to the grid, but whenever it is less radiation for the solar, then automatically it will take balance energy from the grid to supply continuous water to the field in a particular pressure, so that there should be no fluctuation in the pressure. So this is the layout plan which we have developed. So next slide, please.
Next.
This is the field area. This is a field area of a particular module or outlet. Here you can see that there is a blue dot. This is outlet, and a feeder line is going along with another channel up to a tank, and from tank it is distributed with hydrants to each and every field, and farmer are just putting their drip and sprinkler on these hydrants and using water. Their tube wells are also connected with this infrastructure. Means they can use tube well water also on the with drip and sprinkler. It means we are saving water here. Either it is a groundwater or a surface water. So this is the infrastructure we developed, and it is working very efficiently. These are the 14 models in Haryana, and working very efficiently. Three are with me at Kurukshetra. So this can be viewed practically also. So next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. So these are the real pictures of our project. You can see the solar panels. You can see the water tank. You can see the control room. You can see the filters. And next slide, please. Next slide. This way we are using this water with the help of sprinklers. You can see the sprinkler lines and running sprinklers. So this is in paddy we are using the sprinklers. Next slide. In the same way we are harnessing the other sources of water also. Here we are harness the water of sewage treatment plant and village overflowing ponds also. We use the treated water from the STP in the same way as we have used the overflow villages, which we are creating problem in the villages by overflowing. We use that overflow water in the irrigation in the same way. And the next slide, please. You can see the real pictures of STP. These are the sewage treatment plants, and a person is standing in the field. The water is flowing up to that field with pressure. Here, farmers can use directly drip and sprinklers. Next slide, please. Next slide. Next, please. These are the overflowing village ponds. You can see the condition of the ponds. These are the overflow ponds, and we use the same infrastructure and using the water in the fields. And you can see the pressure of water which is reaching up to the field. Directly we can install drip and sprinklers. So these are the some projects we created in irrigation department, and we justified it by experiments also. We did the experiments in the field with farmers on the paddy crop, that is rice crop, and wheat crop, and proposed them that micro irrigation can also be useful in rice crop, which is beyond the knowledge of our researchers, also our farmers. That, but we propose them that by making some scientific study in the field with farmers. So next slide, please. I will show the results of that field study. So these are the results we have got during the field study. That in 2017, we did the experiment in rice crop in 3 acres with micro irrigation. We increased the yield by 0.9 ton per acre, and water was saved up to 42%. One thing I would like to share with you that it is assumed that more than 5,000 liter per kg water is required. Also produce 1 kg of rice is required. So this is huge amount of water which we are exporting to the other countries also. So here our aim is to show the farmers that the water can be saved in rice crop also. So in 2018, we did this experiment with the help of Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar, and there was a saving of 53% of precious water. And there is again certain yield was also increased. And in 2019, we use this technique on the wheat crop also, and there is again saving of water. It is approximately 46%. And then again in 2019, the rice crop is sown with this technique of micro irrigation, and there was again saving of more than 545% and increase in yield. So main aim is to show the farmers that micro irrigation technique is also useful in growing the rice crop, for which they are having certain issues that why rice is required much water than the what scientists have suggested. But we have shown practically that there is an enormous saving and there is increase in yield also if we are using micro irrigation technology. So next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, these are the real pictures of growing rice, either by direct seeding rice, which is an emerging technique, either by mechanical transplanter, or these are the scientists and our engineers working in the field with farmers. So next slide. We have conducted field studies for STP and this overflowing village pond also. It was conducted in 2019 at STP Shahabad, where we have saved approximately 74 crore of liter water in 1 month. This is the figure of 1 month. In 351 acres, we have saved 74 crore liter of water and saved approximately 12.7 lakh rupees of electricity. So this is the one experiment we have conducted. So this is again an achievement by using micro irrigation technology and using water which was otherwise going waste in the drains. Next experiment was on the village overflowing pond, where we have saved again approximately 74 crore liter of water and 13 lakh rupees. So this is the achievement by using micro irrigation technology and using the water which was otherwise going waste. So next slide, please. So this is one of the instrument which is using on the pressure of canal water which we are supplying. This is known as rain gauge. It has a radius of 100 feet. So 1 acre can be directly irrigated with the use of single rain gun. So these are the techniques which we are using in the irrigation. So with these words, I would like to thank all the participants which are hearing me. So this is thanks everybody. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Might participants have been?
Yes, yes, there are some queries. We will take it. Deepika, it's over to you. Deepika, are you hearing me? Deepika?
So I thankful to Engineer Neeraj ji for a wonderful talk. And this is a, sir, you explain a really innovative technology to our students. And in the row, next we have a student with us who will explain the futuristic technology and his experience. So now we have Changam. Changam is the student of Northeast, especially from Arunachal. Now I invite Changam for his talk. Changam, are you here?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. You may start.
Okay. First of all, good afternoon, all respected VC sir, honor or respected director sir, respected ER Neeraj Sharma. So I would like to start from my introduction. Myself, I'm Changam Bohan, a BTech student of second year from Arunachal Pradesh. I have done my diploma from Gop Polytechnic Pasigat, and I am a civil engineering student here in Gita Engineering Campus. I have chosen this campus because one of my relatives recommended this college. She said this campus has very friendly environment, and there are almost 200 plus Northeast students, and all are always ready to help. College also organize various programs and functions each year, and also help us in extracurricular activities. One of our Arunachal team has won first prize in youth festival, that is national level football championship. Our department, that is civil engineering, also organize survey camp every year, and 3 to industrial trips in every semester. As you all know, in Arunachal Pradesh, there is a large scope from road construction to bridge construction, and railway construction to airport construction, and many other opportunities are there in Arunachal Pradesh. So Gita Engineering is that college which will provide us that platform to grab such jobs and opportunities. So I would like to conclude here. And lastly, thank you all.
Thank you so very much, Boham. He was an alumni and spoke to us regarding this. And now I would like to invite our next speaker, Dr. Saurabh Gupta, Director of Gita Group of Institutions, who will be us his expert views. Sir, can we have?
Sure, Deepika. Thank you very much. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here and to speak on this particular platform where Mr. Neeraj Sharma has already elaborated a lot. And the technique what he has discussed of micro irrigation, that is the need of the hour. It is needless to mention that although Mr. Neeraj has already asked that water is very precious to earth, and whatever we have heard about the micro engineering from Mr. Neeraj Sharma, specifically that was all aspect towards the water saving, and it is I think it is a very thrust area. And at the outset, if we talk about the need of the hour, there are, if we talk about the topic of this particular seminar, which is the latest trend in civil engineering. Basically, what I talk about civil engineering is a very vast field, very vast field. And it's a very old engineering concept even. And if we talk about nowadays, what specifically the topic has been given in this particular seminar, that is basically to infrastructure engineering. Now, if we talk about infrastructure engineering, if we saw all around it, everywhere dams are going on constructed, roads are building and buildings are coming up, houses and big complexes are coming up, and structures, superstructures, they are coming up. So many areas are there in the infrastructure engineering where so a great scope is there. You can say a great work and a lot of work can be done in that particular area. Then that second topic was given as the smart cities once again. If we talk about the smart cities, already our Vice Chairman Ankush Bansal ji has spoke on it. That was that where the city where everything is smart. If we talk about transportation, that is the smart transportation, or you can say intelligent transportation system. If we talk about water supply, once again it is intelligent water supply. If we talk about engagement, citizen engagement, once again it is e-governance, means basically it is the concept of smart city. If we talk about the crime monitoring, once again, it is e-crime monitoring. It is once again the concept of smart city. Means what is the concept of smart city where everything is smart? If we talk about the energy meter, they are smart and they are managing it a very good way. If we talk about the water supply, once again, it is smart. If we talk about their leakage identification, that is also smart. If we talk about water quality, once again, it is quality water monitoring. Water quality monitoring, once again, it is a smart basis. So if we talk about parking, smart parking system is there. Modal transport system, traffic means if we talk about medicine, we can think about the telemedicine. If we talk about education, we can think about tele-education. If we think about the felicitation centers, trade felicitation centers, once again, these are E. So what I mean to say is smart cities means everything is smart. So if we talk about the railways, once again, railways are smart. So basically, if we talk about the smart cities, the Newark is the best example in it. Then a lot of latest trends are going on the civil engineering. If we talk about the greenhouse, if we talk about the underground space utilization, if we talk, already we have talked about the micro irrigation, latest concepts of geotechnology are there, seismic effects are there, environmental engineering has a lot of scope. So if we talk about all these, what is the meaning of this latest study in civil engineering? That is the engineering, which is a combination, which is coming up with the concept of artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. AR, VR means augmented reality and virtual reality. So mixture of all these will give the smart concept and are and what we talk about the latest trends in civil engineering. So my dear participants, whosoever is there, uh, if we talk about the civil engineering being an oldest branch of engineering, it has lot of potential. And as already spoken by one of our student, that we are trying our level best in these particular areas, specifically in civil engineering. If we talk about, we got wonderful tie-ups with many of the institutions and agencies and industries for training and placement purpose. So we are coming up with the specialization degrees like apart from civil engineering, specialization in smart cities will be we will be providing the degree in the with specialization in smart cities and 3D printing. So basically, as far as we are concerned, we are trying our level best, and we are providing something different from the other institutions around this particular area. Already spoken to you that more than 200 students from East states, they are enrolled here in various courses. And I assure you that whosoever is listening at the new admission aspirants, we assure you that we will try to education, best learning exposure, best industry exposure, and overall enriching experience will be there. So with these words, I'm thankful to Neeraj Sharma ji, who is the executive engineer in the Department of Irrigation, Haryana and Command Area Division Authority, Kurukshetra, and for his wonderful talk. And sir, I'm extremely thankful to you for sparing your valuable time, because the facts you have shared with us, that nobody could have this, because we as a teacher, we are giving some information, some knowledge to our students, and students, they are gaining knowledge through books. So everything is bookish, although we will try to get it done through the experimental way, but the experiment exposure, what you have taught us, what you have explored with us, that is altogether different. And in future also, sir, we would like to be associated you, and we will like to request you in future for these types of webinar. And for this particular seminar, I'm so grateful to you that on my single call, and I know Mr. Neeraj Sharma, he's my elder brother also, and he is always eager to share his views, because on many occasions he used to ask me that I want to share my knowledge to my students. You please send our students, I will let them know. And because basically he's a teacher, and I know that you can say he's with a mission that whatever he is doing in toward this micro irrigation, he want to share that knowledge among the public, among the students. Each of you, and once again, I'm thankful to all the participants who are the part of the seminar. Thank you very much. Over to Deepika.
Well, thank you so very much, sir, for enlightening us with your valuable opinion. This is definitely going to help the participants who have joined us. Few of the queries I have in my chat box, if I can take upon. Neeraj Sharma sir, do we have you for queries? I have one or two queries for you.
Yes, Deepika. Yes.
Sir, a student has put up that is micro irrigation possible for black soil and alluvial soil?
Yeah, this is very good question. Micro irrigation is possible for every type of soil because we are not feeding the water to the field or soil. We are feeding water to the crop or plant. So it is useful in either alluvial or black cotton soil. So it is best technique to get better yield.
Okay, I hope the query has been resolved. Another one that have come up to my chat box is any career option in ISRO after civil engineering?
Definitely, there are so many careers in ISRO also because now the world is not related to only civil engineering or electrical engineering. Now the things are interdisciplinary. You can work everywhere. You are required everywhere in every field. So definitely there are scientists who are working with ISRO is also from civil engineering background.
So I guess the session would have helped the participants a lot, and definitely it is going to the participants are going to be benefited from this session. Dr. Amit Gupta, can we have you?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I have a query for you also.
Sure, ma'am.
So a student has put up a query that what he should opt for to do to get a government job.
Ma'am, basically our engineering courses, engineering branches, they belongs to two categories. One are the circuitry branches and other one are the non-circuitry branches. So like branches, computer science, electronics and communication, they have the very good scope in the private jobs, private industry, like IT companies. But in case of government jobs, the student which belongs to mechanical as well as civil engineering or electrical engineering, they have very good scope. And under the situation of COVID-19, as we heard about that, global community has decided they want to move their industry from China. So the India is a good destination for this industry. So I hope that next decade it is very good for the mechanical as well as civil engineer, because for installation, fabrication, and manufacturing of these industries, most of the people are required from the mechanical and civil engineering. So according to me and as per my belief, in government job and as well as in private job, especially due to COVID-19, civil engineering student have very good scope in near future.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another query equipped in my chat box is a student wants to know that he's a plus two pass out and wants to opt for civil engineering and looking for a university for it. Belongs to Haryana.
Ma'am, if broadly we can classify our colleges or higher education institutes in three categories: tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So tier 1 institutes are IITs, NITs, triple ITs. And for these colleges, students need to appear in JEE Advanced as well as mains. So depending upon their score, their rank, they are selected in these colleges. Nearly 9 lakh students are going to appear this year for JEE exam. But the seats in these premium colleges are nearly 1 lakh. So remaining 8 lakh students, but they can opt. So the other categories are tier 2 and tier 3. There is no classification based on government and private institution. This is based on certain parameters. There are some accreditation. Accreditation may be from industry, like accreditation from Infosys, BMW, Aisher, then Oracle. So these are the accreditation from industries. And second kind of accreditation are from government bodies like NEC, NBA, and so the institutes which are NEC accredited are the best one if they can go, they can opt as a institute. The student who are not able to get admission in premier institute, then they can go for tier 2 colleges. But before selecting any of the college, student must see what the institute has a tie-ups, the kind of education they are providing, their industrial tie-ups, the kind of industrial associated activities they are providing. Because what is industry? Industry is nothing but it is a laboratory where the student has to demonstrate the their theoretical knowledge and perform the practical task. So that is very much important. The institute should have the tie-up with the industry where student can learn new skills, innovative skills, and can apply what they learned in the classes. So third one is the tier 3 colleges. So I advise all the students uh, they should avoid tier 3 colleges because they are not able to provide any certified education. Their tie-ups are not so good. So better student go for tier 1 colleges. Afterwards, they can go for tier 2 colleges. If we talk about Haryana, so ma'am, Gita Group of institution, we are accredited by NEC. We are having tie-ups with the industries. And in addition to that, as our vice chairman and our director sir told earlier, we are providing specialization in smart cities and infrastructure and 3D printing, and they are the latest one. So I hope this is a student can opt for these courses, these colleges, but must go for all these kind of like accreditation and must check physically or must call their counselor. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so very much, sir, for sharing with us this information. This might help students to find the best for them. So we have a few queries and like, can I take upon those?
Surely, ma'am.
Sir, we have a query that what online teaching learning tools are you providing to cater the pandemic situation?
Ma'am, first of tool is Zoom, on which we are interacting. Second one is Google Classroom. Then third one, we are having webinar. And in addition to that, we have YouTube, where we upload our videos on the YouTube. In addition to that, we are organizing uh, like internship on different platform. Then Swam, MOOC. These are the platform where we are providing online teaching to our students. And definitely, with the time, we will add on the other parameter in our bucket.
So, that was all, I guess, from the students. And now I would like to extend my hearty vote of thanks and deep sense of appreciation to our speaker for today. I extend my vote of thanks to all the distinguished speakers for gracing their important work and sharing with us their findings and opinions. Thank you so much all for joining us today. Thanks all. And dear participants, we have shared the contact numbers. If you have any queries, you can contact us on that number regarding any of the queries you have for Gita Group of Institutes.